Have you ever wondered why some people seem to move towards success almost effortlessly, while others keep struggling even after trying hard? It's not always about intelligence, talent, or even opportunity. The real difference often lies in how their brain is conditioned to think, react, and act. Your brain is not something fixed at birth. It is constantly being shaped by your thoughts, your habits, and your environment. Every repeated behavior creates a pattern, and every pattern strengthens a certain way of living. That means if you've been stuck in cycles of procrastination, self-doubt, or inconsistency, it's not because you're incapable. It's because your brain has been trained in a certain direction. The powerful part is this: if your brain can be wired in one way, it can also be rewired in another. You can train it to focus, to stay consistent, to take action, and to move toward success instead of away from it. But this doesn't happen randomly. It happens when you start applying the right psychological principles with intention. In this video, we'll break it down into 3 simple but powerful ways to rewire your brain for success. Way 1. Change your identity instead of just setting goals. Most people rely on goals to change their life. They say things like, "I want to be successful," or "I want to improve," but they keep thinking and behaving like the same person. This creates a gap between what they want and who they believe they are. Your brain always tries to stay consistent with your identity. If deep down you see yourself as someone who procrastinates, lacks discipline, or gives up easily, your actions will continue to match that belief, no matter how strong your motivation feels in the moment. To rewire this, you need to shift your identity first. Start defining yourself based on the kind of person you want to become. Tell yourself, "I am someone who takes action. I am someone who stays consistent. I am someone who follows through." Then prove it with small actions daily. Each time you act in alignment with this identity, your brain starts accepting it as truth. Over time, success becomes something you naturally move toward, not something you constantly chase. Way 2. Use repetition to train your brain. Your brain learns through repetition. Whatever you do repeatedly becomes easier, more automatic, and eventually part of your routine. This is why bad habits feel so natural. They've been practiced over and over again. If you want to rewire your brain for success, you need to consciously repeat the behaviors that lead to it. Not once in a while, but consistently. Even small actions matter. Studying for 20 minutes daily, working on your goal for a short focused period, or practicing discipline in small decisions. These actions may seem insignificant, but they are actually reshaping your brain. It will feel difficult and forced. That's because you're going against your existing wiring. But with repetition, those actions become easier. Your brain begins to recognize them as normal. Eventually, what once required effort becomes automatic. That's when real transformation happens, not when you feel motivated, but when your behavior becomes consistent, regardless of how you feel. Way 3. Change how you respond to failure. One of the biggest psychological barriers to success is the fear of failure. Most people experience failure and immediately attach negative meaning to it. They think it means they are not good enough, not capable, or not meant for success. When your brain associates failure with pain, it tries to avoid situations where failure is possible. This leads to hesitation, overthinking, and staying in your comfort zone. To rewire your brain, you need to change how you interpret failure. Instead of seeing it as a negative outcome, train yourself to see it as feedback. Every mistake shows you what doesn't work and what can be improved. When you remove the emotional weight from failure, your brain stops resisting it. This makes you more willing to take action, try again, and keep improving. Over time, failure becomes a normal part of your process instead of something you fear. And once that fear is gone, your growth accelerates naturally. Conclusion: rewiring your brain for success is not about one big change. It's about small, consistent shifts in how you think and act every single day. When you change your identity, repeat the right behaviors, and stop fearing failure, you begin to operate differently without forcing yourself. At first, the process will feel uncomfortable. That's a sign that change is happening. You are stepping out of old patterns and building new ones. If you stay consistent, there will come a point where discipline feels natural, confidence feels real, and taking action becomes your default behavior. So don't wait for the perfect moment. Start small, stay consistent, and trust the process. Because the moment you take control of how your brain is wired, you take control of your future.